remember that. Anyway, with all that aside. You like it on celery? That's the only place I like Cheese Whiz, is on celery. All right, year 260. Just finishing or starting the stream? Just starting the stream. We are an hour 45 in to the very beginning of the stream. We just finished listening to records, and no one claimed a duck, so I'm going to do that so no one else does that later by mistake, and I don't need to refund it. Unless somebody apparently did that, and I totally missed it. What? No one claimed a duck according to this, but apparently I don't have the ability to do that. Huh. Anyway, the year 260. We're 255 years into Longdeath. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, we live in a really weird world right now where it feels like every 3 or 4 years an old genre comes back. You know, like CRPGs were completely dead and gone basically a couple of years ago. Before that, like, point-and-click adventures were kind of dead and gone for a really long time. Like, there was no one really making point-and-click adventures outside of, like, web games. For a long while there, like, town builders and god games were basically gone, right? Like, this industry kind of goes through cycles where certain specific subgenres of games just vanish. Like, until we had for XCOM 1.0, we basically didn't have any XCOM-style games for like 8 or 9 years. Like, just no one made those for a while. And now fucking Gears Tactics exists, you know? Like, I just, and games like Empire of Sin as well, like, you know, that have a lot of criticisms, but hey, people are making those games again, you know? I think it's an exhaustion cycle. I think the problem is, it's probably got something to do with some sort of, like, exhaustion cycle, but also just the complete and total loss of the, like, genre term name for the games isn't helping at all. I mean, I think part of the reason they've just, like, fallen out of existence really is partially due to marketing and the, now it's this much more niche specific style of game is now blended into a much bigger style of game. I mean, RTS games came back for a very brief period of time. I think that RTS games are actually kind of in an okay spot right now, King of Knolls. And the reason I say that is because we just got all of the remakes of Age of Empires. Like, there isn't a ton of indie RTS games, but, you know, we're getting a new Age of Empires. So I think that RTS games are kind of at an okay spot right now. Like, they're kind of like a pretty niche genre, but people know what RTS games are. Like, you know, fucking They Are Billions came out pretty recently, right? Like, They Are Billions was an RTS. Was it like a PvP RTS? No, but it was an RTS that people really enjoyed. Yeah, I mean, I think that there is a possibility of AoE 4 sparking a bunch of indie RTSs. But, like, when it comes to indie RTSs, like, you need to look at what fucking, I mean, it's terrible naming schemes, but, like, Petroglyph's been making these 8-bit fucking armies games for a while, right? Like they did the Command and Conquer thing. They did that Conan Unconquered thing, which wasn't very good. But, like, they put out a bunch of these, and not that many people bought them. So, like, there are indie RTSs out there. You just kind of need to look for them. But for you, it's kind of dull now. I hated that game. Specifically, it's very visually inaccessible, so I found it extremely frustrating because I wanted to play it and I wanted to enjoy it, and I absolutely hated playing it. But mechanically, it looked like a neat little game. But it's like, I don't know. I don't think RTSs are dead. I think RTSs are more alive and well than roguelikes are. Just because of the public confusion between a traditional roguelike and what people call roguelikes. So there's so much happening in any one place, and everything is fucking brown. I like colorful RTSs where things are bright and clear. Well, I mean, I think that Jeff Gerstmann said it really, really well on the Giant Bombcast a couple weeks ago, King of Knowles, which is a traditional roguelike is a game that's trying to be very specifically like Rogue in some extremely specific ways. A roguelite is anything with permadeath. And now people just call anything with permadeath a roguelite or a roguelike because they sound so fucking similar. And because of that extreme amounts of overmarketing, like fucking Blizzard was advertising a roguelike mode for World of Warcraft. Like that is a marketing buzzword that they used. Should probably unpause the game. Like that is a marketing buzzword that they used, which is not accurate. Like, does anybody remember that poster ad for Doom Eternal that just said Doom Eternal is now a roguelike? They added a fucking permadeath mode. That's with like score counting and you get guns in random order. Like that's ironic. That's all I have to say. It's not a burger. Yes. It's a burger-like. So I don't know. I don't think that traditional roguelikes are a genre that would ever have like a mainstream success story. I don't think so. But I also don't think something like XCOM really is a hyper mainstream success. It's like a niche AAA franchise, right? Like it's a specific, I guess, group of people who play games that really like those types of games. I think those same people could really like traditional roguelikes if they knew that they existed. Banana bread in the oven? Ooh, it's still too hot to cook stuff in the oven here. Still too hot to cook stuff in the oven. The elves have arrived to trade. They're laughing at me. No, because Jupiter Hell is a traditional roguelike and it doesn't have a nonsensical interface. And I don't genuinely, I'm not one of the people who says that you need to be ASCII and you need to have a terrible interface to be a traditional roguelike. I don't agree at all on that one. I mean, maybe 2 days ago, actually, Donborn. Maybe 2 days ago, not today. It's not hot enough today. Yeah, we had 2 days that were above 39. But right now outside it's like 22. Was waiting for the thingy to update. We're supposed to hit 27 today, so it's like it's nice and cool. It's nice and normal temperatures. That is what Halo Wars was supposed to be. The main FPS audience is Halo to an RTS. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, you put it that way. I've never actually thought about it that way, but you're not wrong. It's like Halo Wars is fine, but it's never going to be as big as Halo, right? No matter how much you water down the RTS, it's never going to be as big as Halo, just because that's not what that audience wants. They brought us a donkey, a unicorn, a dingo, badger, chipmunk, mule, 2 pond turtles. Great horned owl. Man. Outside of the unicorns, these elves don't bring anything particularly fun. Oh, I've had a unicorn farm for like 150 years. Already breeding them. Way ahead of you there. Let's go up. Show you my unicorn farm. That's my unicorn farm. All those U's are unicorns. I have to slaughter them all like every other year because there's too many of them. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's... I don't know. Why are some red? Because they're babies. The red ones are babies. I feel like I sound like a broken record whenever I talk about this shit. And it does kind of genuinely make me sad. But it's also kind of a... I don't know. It's kind of a, it doesn't need to be like this, and I wish it didn't need to be like this kind of thing, you know? I wish it didn't need to be like this. Engineer dwarves are orange. Beer menu. That's a baby gem. I mean, that's more of a bright orange. That's actually a pink tourmaline, apparently. They're a darker red, though. Yeah, but they're a different icon. And Mace Lords are orange. It's only basic Mace Dwarves that are red. But yeah, they're a different icon, so they're immediately distinguishable from a baby dwarf. Because a baby dwarf can't be a Mace Dwarf. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that Matrix tile set was perfectly playable. It was a little bit weird, but it was perfectly playable once you kind of figured out what the icons were. A little hard on the eyes, but, you know. I mean, I played with many toy hammers, and I never learned how to be a carpenter, so... Also, then he wouldn't be purple, he would be a hammer dwarf. Or he wouldn't be red, he would be a hammer dwarf, which is a different color. I don't know, chat. I guess all I can say kind of on that subject is I hope Jupiter Hell does really well. And I hope that whatever Epion calls that Aliens RL remake, it ends up being good. Don't let your games suck, Epion. And I'll keep streaming. That's all I really can do. All right. That goes right to there. That goes up one. It's on sale right now, King of Knolls. It's on sale. Every now and again, there will be like a random streamer with a lot of viewers that'll just start streaming Jupiter Hell, and then they'll just like say something along the lines of, "This is really cool, but I'm gonna play this off stream." I don't know. I really hope. I don't know if I don't know if this will happen, but I want to see like fucking Co-Carnage stream Jupiter Hell. Or something. I just want to see that. I just want to see some really big streamer pick that game up and try it out. And actually give it like an honest shot. Why would you be legit afraid of Ko playing it when DF comes out? Ko has said he'll play it when DF comes out. So is Burke Black. Stick around for your love of semantics and the idea of words meaning things. I mean, most of my stream is just me. It's just a random stream of consciousness shit. Sticks and stones is true to a point, though. Who is sticks? The opposite of stones. Grows on a tree, usually. Who is sticks? Elven stone. Huh. I mean, not really, because it wouldn't stone just be elven stone? That would just be grown wood. No, that's pointy stick. Dawnborn. Pointy stick is greatest weapon of our time. And then after pointy stick, we discovered the even greater technology of boomstick, which is the one weapon that we have that is more deadly than pointy stick. Who's coming down to dig this? There you are. There you are. Good stuff. All right. Let's go around the edge here. So I'm going to start doing some fun patterns with this. That's something that we're going to do. We're going to dig out around the edge, and I'm going to mostly put glass in, but we're going to start digging, and we're going to start doing patterns. But if boomstick booms pointy stick, then you have two pointy stick. I guess I see some logic in that statement, but it's maybe a stretch. Ow. Just cracked my back. I don't know. I hope one main thing for the release of Jupiter Hell. And I don't know if I can say the same for the release of Ultimate Adom. The one main thing that I hope for the release of Jupiter Hell is that I am not the biggest person streaming it on launch day. Because, you know, I will absolutely stream it on launch day. I don't want to be the biggest person streaming it on launch day. What, the crack in my back? I mean, I heard it. So did anybody else hear my back crack? Because that was definitely my lower back, yeah. My back makes some weird fucking sounds. Bastet, it's all sad again. What squad were you in? Just making sure that Bastet is in that squad. Should be. Yep. Your shoulders pop? It's mostly my back that makes weird noises. mostly. Not so much the rest. There you go. Go do the training. I mean, it's actually playable. King of Knolls. It's actually playable. That's about it. It's actually playable. But it's just... There is a feeling that I get with games when the developer seems to have absolutely no faith in the thing that they're making. It doesn't exactly do this... it doesn't exactly spell confidence in the developer, right? And one thing that I can say overwhelmingly about Ultimate ADOM is it does not inspire any confidence in their ability to make the thing that they want to make. Like, I don't think they know what they want to make. They just want to make a game that does as well as OG ADOM did. Well, it's not 1999 anymore. And this supposed demographic that they are trying to target, like, while they've made a more accessible game, but they've made a more accessible game that is missing most of what made ADOM interesting. Does that make sense? You know? It's like if Dwarf Fortress were to stop developing Dwarf Fortress and put out a game with the depth of early No Moria. Is it more accessible? Yes. Is it a better game? Absolutely not. Go get your nomage. Go get some good dinner, Trail Debris. Cheers. Thanks for hanging out. Like, does that make any sense? It's like, it would be like if Tarn and Zach were just like, we're going to go, maybe not GTA 4, because like that's a bit of a stretch, but it's like, if Zach and Tarn decided to stop developing Dwarf Fortress in favor of a more accessible game, that simply removes everything that makes Dwarf Fortress interesting. You know? It's like, okay, well, we removed the world generation and everything else that's fun about this game kind of deal. That would be kind of the equivalent for me. That feeling when you realize you have more of the fancy cheese that you bought the other day left is a very, very, very good feeling, Beer Veneer. A very, very, very good feeling. I don't know. I want to see Thomas Biscup make another video game that he's happy about. And I'll say this. Reading any of his posts, he doesn't seem even remotely enthused, excited, or happy to play the game. Or happy to be making the game. He just seems like he's disappointed that it's not doing as well as original ADOM did. It's like, it's a massive case of unrealistic expectations. You're out of your favorite cheese? No! Well, here's the thing. UADOM's running on fucking Unity. Like, it's not that UADOM is the engine. Like, it's not a good engine. Like, that's the thing. It's like, part of the problem I have with that game is it's sluggish. It's slow. It's not good the way it's set up. Is that floor? Yeah, that's floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making layers that are patterns. So this floor is going to lead out into a kind of big open hall area. I'm going to do kind of a spirally thingy. You'll see what I mean. I want to do more than just a straight shaft all the way down. I want some of the layers to be interesting. So I'm going to make an interesting layer here. I don't know if Epion's still listening, but I'd be kind of curious to hear his take on some of this stuff. Unless it's like too inside baseball. I need more coffee. Do you agree or disagree with my plan of making pattern layers stone? Sunbirded. I mean, I was gonna say like a man named Bert who is sunburned, but maybe you're in a summary. I'll say this. I guess I don't think games need to be widely financially successful to achieve goals. And I don't think... I think that reasonable expectations are required of everything. You know, like, I never expect my stream to be the biggest stream on Twitch. I stream fucking Dwarf Fortress. And, like, games that not many people play. Or maybe people know about them, but, like, not a huge number of people are actively seeking out gameplay of Dwarf Fortress. Like, I realize that I am not going to be a huge channel on Twitch. And I think people that are developing roguelikes need to kind of have the same expectation, right? Like, you're making a game that is not something that mainstream gamers, like Thomas puts it, are going to play and buy. Like, it's just like you can build an audience. Yes, you can sell copies. Yes, people will play your game. Yes, if it's good. But it's never going. You're never going to sell 100,000 copies, or maybe you'll sell 100,000 copies, but you're not going to sell 5 million copies, which is what it feels like he's expecting, and that's just, I don't know, kind of hard to watch, I guess. Cheers, Anonymous, for gifting a sub out into the ether. Thanks. Let's do that. And that. And that. I mean, maybe I'm reading too much into that quote, Stone, but it's certainly how that quote reads. It's certainly how that quote reads. Hey, Aqua, what's up? How's things? Doom is a goddamn fine video game. A goddamn fine video game. Oh god. Are you at least getting days off to recover from your second shots if there's side effects, Aqua? Or is it like you're just working through it? Regardless, I mean, at the very least you're getting those you're getting those shots, which is good. Make more glass. Such a professional dancer because they're all perfectly synchronized. Absolutely. Absolutely. You schedule this shot so that you're rotating watching the kids with your parents. Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, at the very least, you get that. You have that safety net, right? Glad to hear that you have that safety net, because I've heard some kind of horror stories of like bosses like not giving people time off to get over there. The side effects of the vaccines and such. Heard a couple horror stories about that sort of thing. I hope that ramble about roguelikes wasn't too broken record-y. Because I do kind of feel like sometimes when I'm rambling about roguelikes, it just ends up sounding like a broken record. I don't like playing Cataclysm, so no, I haven't ever considered streaming Cataclysm. Your boss was like that? COVID denier types? Yikes. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, here's the thing. This is too phallic, is the thing. Yeah, I stream them, but also I feel like I talk about this same subject way too often. And I feel like it kind of becomes a, well, I heard this conversation yesterday, 3 days ago, day before that. I don't know. I don't want to just, like, retread the same ground every day, you know? Executives are pushing because of those deniers? Well, that's good. Hell yeah. Like, that's what should be happening is those... Like, because we were literally talking yesterday about somebody whose boss was a COVID denier, so... When I noticed the phallicism... Oh, I noticed it almost immediately, but... Phallicness? Phallicable? You denied COVID an opportunity to make you sick. Oh, like getting one over on the virus? I mean, no, that doesn't make you a COVID denier because that's not the definition of a COVID denier. You're a COVID blocker? Yeah, you COVID blocked it. It's like cock blocking it. Also, Beermanir, I wasn't really it wasn't a matter of me wondering when I was gonna notice that it was phallic looking. I was aware that it was phallic looking when I was drawing the basics of it. It was more of a wondering when chat was gonna point out that it was phallic looking. This phallus looks painfully bent out of shape now. Yeah, and this is why, like, I don't try and make pretty-looking rooms now, because people are always like, looks like a penis, and I'm like, well, guess we'll just get rid of it. I can't make any interesting shapes because no matter what I do, it ends up looking like a cock and balls. Unless I literally just make balls. Which is what I'm gonna do, damn it. For the dwarves to walk through it. The only person who's making these rooms look like nuts is you. So, wouldn't it be awkward? No, because the dwarves would just make a long, windy hallway. Because unlike you, the dwarves aren't totally fucked up in their minds. And think everything looked like nuts. These are dwarves, not 12-year-old children. I mean, why would the dwarves be walking through this? This is going to be filled with lava. Quite literally, this is going to be filled with lava. So why would they walk through it? A relaxing lava walk? You mean a relaxing lava dead? Nothing beats the soul-releasing energy of stepping into some nice, cozy, boiling warm lava. The magma crabs will probably love it. I mean, no, actually they won't, because if I do this correctly, magma crabs won't be able to get into it. Magma crabs can't go up pump stacks, so... Consult your nearest doctor. What's Stone said? If your genitals look like this, consult your nearest doctor. Doesn't even need to be your doctor, just the nearest one. One that's ideally close by, because you have a problem. And if it's been hard for more than 4 hours... Wait, that's something different. Looks like a flower? So what you're saying is it looks like a vagina now? It's a weird looking flower. Thank you, Beer, for saying something nice about something I made at Dwarf Fortress that isn't, you know, just a nonsensical shape. But yeah, no, I'm gonna do a few of these. Like, just pattern-ish buildings. Pattern-ish rooms. Just so that when we fly down through these layers, there will be some that look interesting. Scholar has discovered... Tiny Goliath has discovered formal reasoning. They've been pondering that for a while now. Neat. I am happy that Tiny Goliath is still alive and was able to do that. And, which is actually kind of awesome, because this dwarf is 91 years old and has always dreamed of making a great discovery. And he finally realized that dream. I've made a breakthrough regarding formal reasoning, and it's astonishing. Particular level from Metroid? Does it? I don't know. I've never actually played Metroid. Like, I've never played the original Metroid. So if that's what it's reminding you of, I've never played that. Right, they're now pondering truth of... I mean, they're becoming little scholars, right? Like, that's literally what they are doing. Proof by contradiction. I wonder if that will make our our military training program any better. All right, well, that's going to be our little thing. Wasn't something that got left at a library skating skills from manuals? I don't remember. I will be honest. I do not remember. I'd need to go back and look at the posts. Shoutouts to the child just playing down here. Spitalier, playing make-believe around his parents. Blue water!
Saw my dwarf on the list. Am I actually a militia commander or just a martial artist?
In the case of your dwarf, actually, you are actually a militia commander. You are actually a militia commander. You are a spear dwarf, if I'm not mistaken. You're also married to Tiny Goliath, and you must be very proud because Tiny Goliath just made a great discovery, which is actually kind of awesome, by the way. You also have a few kids, including Knowles, Max, and Massive, and Pilot, who's your eldest. And you have a pet bull and a pet cow. Hey, Spitalier, what's up? You were a bratty infant last time you were here? Well, I mean, you grew up. You are 72 years old, after all. You were born in the year 188, and we are now in the year 260. So I think you're doing pretty well. And how you doing today, Spitalier? It's good to see you as well. But thank you very much for the third month with Prime. Welcome back. Thank you much. Now the question is for this, should I replace all of the walls with glass? Because I think that's definitely something I should do. I think that is definitely something I should do. Have there been since you were born? I don't know. A lot? Dozens? Maybe? So you will go on with CDDA training? Gotcha. Gotcha. There was one accidental death recently. Deturowit fell all the way down the lava lamp that we were building. Like 20-something Z levels and would splat. That was upsetting. I felt kind of terrible. It took them like 2 weeks or 2 months even to find the body because we were working on a higher layer, which was upsetting. But outside of that, like most of the deaths have been natural, so it's perfectly normal deaths. Nope. No, it was a cave in. We were digging through this layer, the maze layer. We were digging through this, and while digging through it, we had to cave in floors, and I fucked up one of the cave-ins, and it made the dwarf fall. 2 dwarves actually fell, but only one died. Pilot also fell, and I guess was wearing some basic armor and didn't go splat. So no, they were not dodging a buzzard at the time. Which I personally think is very, very, very disappointing. Very unfortunate. The pilot just flew away. If only that were possible. If only that was how it worked. Humble store purchase for $16.82. That's the
store purchase made for 16,82 €.
I think that is the first Humble store purchase that someone has made in like months. Cheers to whoever did that. You have so much fun. What was the Forgotten Beast, H2O? Silver She, how's things? How is things? Also, to whoever just bought that, what'd you buy? Kind of curious. Of like Pilot bumbling off the floor like a ball in a churro, seeing it and it's ready to just splat. I mean, Stone has been taken by a Fey mood. Damn. Damn, Stone. How dare your father use your Steam to play Fallout? Stone claims a clothing shop. Where are you headed? Probably for ore? You're on your lunch break? And you can't play more Jupus. Well, that's just mean. A flying worm that spit fire? Ooh. Fire's rough. Fire's rough. Webs and fire are rough. Webs and fire are fort killers, in my opinion. Webs and fire are often fort kills. Are often fort killers. Artifacts do not rot away, so no. Artifacts are indestructible. You can set them on fire and they will respawn somewhere in the world. Probably still on fire, but... Are artifacts always... Well, artifacts are always a masterwork creation, so yes. All craft store ship is always of the highest quality. To get into the base and then they all set themselves on fire? Yeah. Nope. Because foodstuffs are not used as artifacts. And no, because it's rotten. Somewhere on the same map. I mean, it will stay in the same location, yeah. Like, I will There was the one time I made the mistake of reclaiming some artifacts from one of my old forts, and my old fort was a or a volcano fort, and ended with everything getting covered in lava because everybody was gonna die anyway, so I kind of just like released the volcano. Anyway, when the dwarves came back, they immediately spontaneously combusted because the artifacts were last checked on fire. You probably need bones. I probably need to slaughter some unicorns and cattle anyway. You can make an artifact out of a dwarf if you have a very, 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 very upset dwarf. But that's not a rotten item. That's a fresh item. Like, they can make items out of bones, but they have to be fresh bones. Summertime. More stupid skulls. More or less stone, yeah. Do you have any expectations on what article of clothing she'll make, Stone? I hope it's frilly and menacing with spikes of something. Also, Zakthos. Can I just call you Zach? Because it's... I don't know why, but that name's a bit of a mouthful, shall we say. Lots of folks shorten it. I mean, I shorten most names. Like, I'm never gonna call Stone, aka Seashore's Wall, Stone, aka Seashore's Wall. I'll simply say Stone. You know. I'm just presuming that it's bones that you need, but... Plant cloths specifically. Rock? Cut gems? Bones. Yeah, it's bones. It's bones that you want. And so far you have... Stray unicorn bone, silver bars, point cut rose quartzites, galena, and pigtail cloths. So I could also... because you want 2 points of bones, you need more bones. So let's also get some plant cloth going just for shits, because you know we need it, and it'll give some dwarves jobs, which is not a bad thing. Also, how's yeah, that dwarf is no longer depressed. Good, good. Stimulates the economy. I mean, dwarves have like. They need to be busy, right? Dwarves don't really care about the economy. They just need to be busy. So as long as dwarves are busy, they're happy. Gotta stimulate the dwarves' busyness. Bah. Also, not really to call it anonymous, but can I just say that it's very strange to me when anonymous people gift subscriptions to big streamers. Always confuses me. It's like, that's a really big streamer that some random person just gifted a subscription to. It's like, why did you do that? It's one of the reasons that, like, one thing that I feel like would be really annoying about being a very large channel on Twitch would be just getting gifted subs to random channels. Like, I've always wondered, like, how many people Ninja was subscribed to at peak, right? Because, like, I think Ninja has had like 6 months worth of subs to this channel because people just kept gifting him subs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it would just be really, really obnoxious just being a big channel on Twitch. For that reason. There you go. Stray cow. Will you get cow bone and unicorn bone? We'll make sure this artifact is done, and then we'll go back to working on the lava tube. Uh-oh. Got another depressed dwarf. Chico. What squad were you running, Chico? I'm gonna get the Bear Fighters training, which is Chico's squad. Yeah, both squads of Bear Fighters training. And then we're gonna go find Stony again. There she is. Stupid cow skulls, specifically. Let's see what kind of bars you grab. That's gotta be what you're going for. Oh, nope, gems. Nope, you could gift a sub to, well, I don't know. Trying to think who's a random famous person. Like people back when I used to play Planet Coaster all the time, people would gift subs to Frontier Developments all the time just for the lulz. You know, like yeah, and you can literally just type in a name. Rough Price Opals, Rose Cut Sards, Stray Cow Bone. I wonder if Toady1 has a Twitch account. No, I wonder. Silver Bars, Stray Unicorn Bone, Point Cut Rose Quartzites, Galena, and Pigtail Cloth. And it's just plain pigtail cloth. It's not colored pigtail cloth. Made by Infinity, in fact. Now, any bets on what that's going to be? You ain't heard that in a bit? I mean, it's... I need to figure out something to refer to your dwarf as. The humans have arrived. One of two human caravans. It's time to bring items out for the sale. Is that because Userune hasn't streamed in a bit, Stone? I know he refers to as that. And large. Large. So much random large clothing has been given to us. And the royal treasure has arrived, as well as the second human caravan. Well, I mean, you know you just wasted that, right, Freskins? I'm going to refund that for you. Give me a second. I'm going to give you a refund. But you gotta give me a minute. You were going to send it like 2 hours ago, and you decided to wait. Why exactly? Aside from, you know, being kind of annoying? Twitch does a really good job of making this window difficult to find. Shut up, Twitch. I know how this shit works. You know what? No, I'm not going to give you a refund. Just because of that. You can just deal. Because I literally just can't find the window. So you can You can deal. Twitch makes it more difficult to find menus, and you know what? I can't be asked. On behalf of the Merchants Guild, let me extend my greetings to your people. There is much to discuss. The world is the same as ever. What requests do you have of our merchants? All of the wood, please. 2 hours ago wouldn't have been too late. No, we were definitely doing records 2 hours ago. Stone, the militia captain? What? Stone, the militia captain, has created Taro Gotiknak Deller Kodar, a short pigtail skirt. I want a girl with a short skirt and a long sword. Because she's a sword dwarf. She claims it as an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor, Euthris Worktict. It's worth 50,120. This is a short pigtail skirt. Our Krastor ship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with rose-cut praise opals and encircled with bands of pigtail and unicorn bone and cow bone and octagon-cut sards. It is made from pigtail cloth. Of course it's dedicated to Euthris. Of course it's dedicated to Euthris. It's always dedicated to Euthris. On the item is an image of a rectangular cabochon in Galena. On the item is an image of a statue in rose quartz. On the item is an image of Iteb Veiled Whip, the dwarf and dwarves in silver. Iteb Veiled Whip is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the ascension of the dwarf Iteb Veiled Whip to the position of Queen of the Ignited Creation in year 1.
Looks like I have a button to push to show that I resubbed last week.
Yep, you do. Thanks, Belug. That's all I have to say to that. Yelmint, the Steel of Dawn. That's a name. You know, I kind of wonder if the Steam version is going to continue. Actually, she's a spear dwarf. If the Steam version is going to continue naming artifacts in Dwarven tongue, or if it's going to have the English next to it. Kind of wonder. We have finalized the import agreement. And then let's discuss what they're willing to offer. Yada yada. They want spears still. On behalf of the Merchants Guild, let me bid farewell to you and your stout dwarves. I want to listen to White Stripes. They're good. Although, I'm not going to lie. Little weird. The White Stripes. Little weird. Just all of the claiming to be brother and sister thing when they were actually married thing. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Just saying. Kind of weird. Brilliant, not a very good singer, but a brilliant musician. I mean, you don't need to be a good singer to write good music. But yes, Jack White is kind of brilliant. A little bit of an oddball, but kind of brilliant. What's happening right now? I mean, I'm sure it's very talented biters are taking place in the biting demonstration. I mean, it's technically going on in the middle of the screen in that waterfall. What do you got against Jack Black? Jack Black's hilarious half the time. School of Rock is my shit, dude. Jack Black is obnoxious? That's your opinion? I find him to be very, very funny. But then again, I also like Seth Rogen, so. Like, Jack Black's in some terrible movies, and in those movies he's obnoxious. But when he's in a good film and he has good direction, I think he's kind of a genius. Also, Jack Black, better vocalist than Jack White. Just saying. Be Kind, Rewind. Also a great movie. You know, it's impossible for me to read anyone say I'm loving it without immediately hearing McDonald's marketing sounds in my ears. It's like, it's actually impossible. Like, you say I'm loving it and my brain goes ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Well, do you hate me or something? Because, like, I hate that. It's very much a thanks I hate it feeling. Thought Have It Your Way was Burger King. Just remember, everybody, I'm Lovin' It's a song by Justin Timberlake that was licensed by the McDonald's Corporation. Just remember that. Because I remember hearing that song on the radio. Bet you that made him a lot of money. Yep. Go look up I'm Lovin' It by Justin Timberlake. It's on the same album as Sexy Back. Which is also a really good song. What was he loving? Bringing Sexy Back, obviously, is what he was loving. Man, I miss the days on the internet where you'd go to YouTube and you'd type in Justin and Timberlake would be the first thing to pop up. It's definitely not Justin Timberlake anymore, though. So, does anybody give a shit about Discord stickers? Can I ask a question? What is it with... What is it with chat apps and stickers and them trying to make stickers a big deal? Because, like, I don't think I've ever intentionally used a sticker on a chat app. And they're like, we have stickers now! Jazz hands, like it's such a big fucking deal. And I'm just like, what? Old people like them? I thought it was a young people thing. Is this actually like boomer technology? Is that what this is? You like WhatsApp stickers? I don't use WhatsApp because it's owned by Facebook. So, I've never installed WhatsApp. I wonder if we're like in the age category where like we don't understand what the young people like, and we also don't understand what old people like. Oh, that actually makes a degree of sense. But those aren't old people, though. The people who used MSN Messenger are like our age. I think. Like, isn't MSN Messenger, like, something that... I never actually used ICQ. I did use MSN Messenger briefly, and I hated it. Fucking hated it. I died with XP. Good fucking riddance. It's terrible software. Horrible software. What, ICQ? I mean, I remember people using it. I just never used it. Got eaten by Skype? I used Skype. That's for sure. I also used IRC. I miss IRC because I really liked IRC the little bit of time that I spent using IRC. But I moved from IRC pretty quickly to Ventrilo because Ventrilo had chat, like voice chatting, and that's what we used primarily. We pretty quickly moved. Like me and some friends used an IRC server for about 6 months, and then we moved to Ventrilo, and then we basically just used Ventrilo nonstop from then on. Because you had a very early server? Or an early account, rather? That's the correct word to use. I have... Technically, my Discord is in the is one of the first 10,000 Discords. So, that's kind of the case for my Discord. Like, my personal one, it's a very, very, very early Discord. You can make profile banners on... Huh. Apparently you can now have profile banners on Discord. I only just realized this. Actually, I'm curious about something. Hold on. I want to try something. Let me see if this works as a background. Just want to test something on my Discord, which I'm testing right now because I literally just like looked at my Discord. Okay, this kind of looks awesome. We now have a new server banner on Discord. Go take a look. No. Discord is a Chrome app, isn't it? Pretty sure it's a Chrome app. We always do it live. We do everything live, man. Otherwise, I'd be doing it dead, and that would be a little creepy. Creepy, but also on brand. How's that creepy? How in the world is that creepy? What the hell? You guys have a really odd definition of creepy. How in the world does that look creepy? I mean, I know Twitch chat is based on IRC. I knew that. That's why old Twitch chat, like old IRC commands used to work in old Twitch chat. Did anybody here ever use the live streaming service Owned 3D? Oh, creepy to... Okay, fair enough, yes. delay was a little bit weird on that. But the reason I ask about the live streaming service Owned 3D was because every single stream for Owned 3D didn't actually have chat. There was no chat for Owned 3D. However, the streamer could optionally tie an IRC client to their stream. So you would sign in and it would have a connect with IRC thing would pop up on the right, and you could connect with the IRC room associated with that stream. No, it was called Own 3D. Owned was the website. Now it's a owned3d.tv is still a website. It's now just a company that sells customized stream branding ish stuff. Stuff, you could say. It's just really weird that someone bought that brand after having watched streams on that service way back. Well, because no one would know what I'm saying if I don't say Own 3D. I'm not intentionally avoiding leet speak. I'm trying to avoid confusion because owned with a 3 is incredibly hard to verbally say without losing people, if that makes sense. And people who've never heard of that site won't be able to go look it up if I just say owned, because if I say owned, no one will know what I'm talking about, basically, because that's how dead that site is. But at one point, there was like 100,000 people watching top streams on that site. Like, that was a legitimate Twitch competitor for a bit, but they could never figure out how to monetize it, whereas Twitch figured out how to monetize it. That's the only reason Owned didn't take off. Like, they had just as big an audience as Twitch at one point. Okay, I thought it was a, I was under the impression that it was a Chrome app, but I am mistaken, because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, no, back in the day, you used to be able, on Twitch, you used to be able to use, like, straight-up base IRC commands in chat, and they would work. Like, Twitch chat used to just be IRC, and then they built out of it. I mean, I wouldn't say those poor Discord devs, because I literally just got an email stating that the entirety of Discord is going on vacation for 2 weeks. So I wouldn't necessarily say poor them, because, I mean, they're all going on vacation, so. Also, they get paid pretty well. I wouldn't feel bad for people who work at Discord. Discord is supposedly a pretty great place to work, from what I've been told. You know, can I just say that I think that as a content creator, I have unrealistic expectations for the amount of output I myself can do in a month. Because I've been watching a little bit of Nextlander, which is 3X Giant Bomb guys. Like, they were at Giant Bomb up until like a couple months ago now, I guess. And they went and started their own Patreon, and I've been watching what they've been doing on their daily and monthly output a little bit. And it's kind of incredible the amount of content I have to put out to be sustainable versus the amount of content they have to put out to be sustainable. It's kind of incredible seeing the difference there. Because, like, in order for me to be sustainable, I have to basically put in 60 to 70 hours a week, right? they do like daily 2-hour streams, which is like, my God. If only. That's kind of incredible. The difference having a massive audience has on the like the amount they have to put out. Yeah, there's 4 of them. Well, 3 of them plus a handful of moderators that are all helping them. That's probably why I got confused. Be like, that's probably why I got confused. And also, yes, I'm one person. But this wouldn't be sustainable if I didn't do this much. I'll also just remind everybody, I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about when I talk about coding stuff. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I feel like we ran out of charcoal. Nobody is making glass, unless all of my glass makers are in the military. But we'll just let them put those blocks in place and see if they go making more. Otherwise, I'll queue up more jobs. Get those done. To be clear, I'm not complaining. I'm incredibly fortunate to be lucky enough to be in a position where I'm able to stream content into your eyeballs for a living and do this as a job and call it a job and have it as a job. I'm incredibly fucking fortunate. But there are times where like I look at it and I'm like, man, it's incredible the amount of work that I need to put into this in order to make it sustainable versus the amount of work that more successful people need to put into it to be sustainable. But still, like, they put in full-time hours. Because they put in a lot of time just playing games off-stream to learn the game before they showcase it, I guess. It's just it's a completely different type of content versus what I do. King wants 2 ballista arrows. Oh, I see the problem here. It's because my mayor's in a squad. Let's just take those 2 off real quick. Let you go manage work orders, and then I'll turn them both back on. For reference, these are the people that I was referencing, if you're not familiar. And they've been doing that shtick now for, I guess, 3 weeks, 4 weeks-ish, maybe a month. Like a little over a month at most. All right. Someone better be... Yeah, they're assembling ballista arrows. So I can put those 2 squads back into training now. I'll let them keep going for like maybe another month. What time of year are we in? Midsummer? All right. Yeah, we will keep that going for another month or so. Another month or so. What is the outer glass wall for? Aesthetics. And consistency. I mean, I'm going to replace all of that, like that whole inner circle with glass as well. But yeah, aesthetics mostly. That's fair since the corners are missing. Well, the corners are missing so that I don't need to like suspend and unsuspend building jobs constantly. Like the corners are missing because Like, that's just how dwarves build things. And that's just the easiest way to do this efficiently. Yeah, so I don't do the corners initially, and then I go back afterwards and then do the corners. That's why they're missing right now. They won't be missing in a minute, is what I'm trying to say. Dwarves have way too much to do right now. They're slaughtering unicorns. They are building walls. They're trying to assemble stuff, put away bones, put stuff in stockpiles, process plants. Like, I've got way too many jobs running right now. The dwarves are very busy. Corners, yeah. I mean, you gotta put the foundations in before you can put the windows in, right? It's just like real life. Yes, it's possible to make glass floors. This is a glass floor right here. Green glass floor. They are not transparent in the current ASCII version because that's not how ASCII works. In the Steam version, they will be visually semi-transparent. You'll be able to see the layer below them, through them. Also, hey, Magna. What's up? Do dwarves see through glass? No. No, they do not. Windows, yes. Walls, no. Like, I imagine glass walls to be kind of like, you know those awful glass bricks that were really popular in the 60s? That every dentist office has? You know what I'm talking about when I say those awful glass bricks that you kind of can't see through? I kind of imagine them to be, yeah, like semi-opaque. Like, it's a wall first and foremost, not really a window, you know? Like you can make glass bricks and then make something out of glass bricks, but you can see, like, light comes through, but you can't really see them. You can't really see through them. And that's kind of how I imagine these being. Like old diners? Sure, yeah. The ones they built entire glass garages out of? Yes. Yes, those awful fucking things. I'll find a visual reference. Glass block. If I just go to image search and type in glass block, I'll probably find what I'm looking for. Yes, these things. These ugly fucking things. Like, you know, you can't really see through them. I mean, those ones you can, but like these you can't, you know, and I don't know. I would expect dwarven glass walls to be a lot closer to something like this shit than or this. Like you can't really oh god, that is horrendous. Ugh, hate those. They're so awful. Although don't tell streamers about these. Feeling sluggish as hell. I know that feeling. Yeah. I definitely feel you there. The heat has done a number on my energy, and I feel like I'm recovering now. But like, it's been a tough couple days because of that. It's been a tough couple of days. Put you on weaving and glass making as well, so that you can just like finish slaughtering these unicorns and then go do something else. Beat them to it. Rainbow glass the background. I like my black void, thanks. It's much more representative of my feeling and outlook on life. Besides, I think you guys like the void too. You know? I used to have a bookshelf in my background. Believe it or not. Back in the day, I used to have a bookshelf behind me. Oh yeah, the void swallowed it when the only thing left in my heart was blackness. Were there records on the shelf? No, it was books. Books. None of them were mine, though. Books and some action figures. Because I had no space in the apartment at the time for records. I didn't actually start buying records until after the void came into place. If I go to an old stream on my YouTube channel. Where's one that I'm not absolutely ashamed to look at myself? That's what the background of my stream used to look like. That. Used to have a bookshelf behind me. Back in the day. You can go digging on the YouTube channel if you want to find more of that. People actually asked me to do that. Axon. People actually asked me to like green screen the bookshelf because they missed it so much when it initially went away, and I was like, you're not going to miss it once I make this setup better. And you know what? It's way fucking better now. Actually has like a relatively coherent aesthetic now. Pretty clean on top of the game. What do you mean by floating head thing? Actually blue screening? People have been blue screening on Twitch for a very long time. I don't actually like green screens. I think that like a nice set or a nice background or like something behind the stream is a little bit more unique than the green screen. My problem is, as a streamer, finding ways to make my channel look visually unique, right? And that's something that people have always something that white dudes on Twitch have to compete with a lot because, you know, surprise, there's a lot of white dudes on Twitch. And there's a lot of white dudes with beards on Twitch. It's a pretty common demographic on this website. And so if I want to even remotely stand out on Twitch, I have to do something aside from just being another white dude with a green screen. So, you know, outside of playing pretty unique games, I want my stream to be visually memorable or visually different. There's not a huge number of people that, you know, go out of their way to have kind of a dark colored look to their stream or a dark room effect on their stream. Like, it's not dark in here at all. It's actually quite well lit. But, like, there's sunshine coming into my apartment, like, a meter away from me. But, I don't know. I think this kind of has a sound studio feel to it, which I really enjoy. So outside of the game being unique looking. Also, another issue that I have with green screens is in order for a green screen to work correctly, you have to have bright lights on your face. My eyes can't handle that for very long. I don't actually understand how people stream with studio lighting on them. Like, I do not. Like, in order to have proper enough lighting, I will tell you this, Aqua. I would rather stop streaming than give into that meme. Like, I would rather just quit. Like, it's just, there are some things based in one's own dignity that are just not worth the joke. And that, to me, is one of them. It's just, I do not understand people's obsession with that joke, because it's not funny to me. I understand the basic titillation that some people get out of watching their favorite streamers be in hot tubs. I get it, you know? And like, sure, if you want to create that kind of content, cool. More power to you. It's not for me. I don't like it. And I don't ever want to create that kind of content. I don't want to give into the joke. I'm never going to do a stream in that style. I never want to do a stream in that style. I hope that you don't actually ever want me to do a stream in that style. I'm tired of hearing the fucking joke. And hopefully, just like just chatting streams, people will eventually just go, yeah, if you want to make that kind of content, do it. By all means, do it. But please, fucking stop asking for me to do shit even remotely related to a fucking hot tub. Have I made my point? We've talked about this before. If I were to make an OnlyFans, it would be for my fern. It would be my OnlyFerns. But I'm not going to do that because I'd rather you just give me money on Patreon if you want to give me money. That's because you've, you know, been away from Twitch for 2 weeks. just go to the beaches and hot tubs category on Twitch, and you'll find all of that shit. Oh, Cyrolac is stressed. Would you like to be in the military at all? Nope. All right, well, I'm going to take you off of hauling and take you off of other jobs. So you're going to stop, you're going to construct the one more building that you're on the job for right now, and then you will go do something else. Think about it this way, I guess. From the point, imagine every single time you go into work, your boss tells you, in order to be accepted, you have to do all of your work in a bathing suit with no socks on in a foot of water. Just think about what that's like a little bit. And then reconsider making that joke at streamers every time you watch them. Think about it that way. Think about how that makes that person feel. Tons of people are jumping on that bandwagon, and tons of people are making lots of money, and that's great. It's not the kind of content I want to make. Yep, there's a category for that, and it's totally fine that there's a category for that. Be like... The annual tribute from, well, the tribute bringers have come. See what this dwarf does after constructing that building. Let's make 100 leather crafts. Well, leather bracelets. This dwarf really wants to practice a craft. I'm a little worried about this dwarf all of a sudden. So we'll see what we're able to do. There you go. You're going to go make leather bracelets. I don't know. It's just the one like trend that I really wish would just go away on Twitch is the asking of streamers to make adult content. I wish that could just cease being a joke. Like, as a dude, it's awkward and annoying. I don't even want to imagine what it's like for the girls on this site. It's like, I wish that humor could just stop forever. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, Axon. That's a pretty good bit. That's a pretty fucking good bit. I like that. It's like, if people want to make that sort of shit, okay, cool. I really wish that people would just cease the jokes of suggesting that people who don't want to create that kind of stuff create that kind of stuff. No, I'm not saying it's a euphemism. Like, I believe you that they're literally washing an ostrich. You'd rather stop hearing about it yourself and you're a viewer? Yeah, imagine how I feel. You know? I don't know. The sad part is, if I fucking manned up and got a fucking shitty little pool and did that, I'd probably make a lot more money than I am right now. And you know what? Frankly, I don't care. Because there are people who go out of their way to watch those kinds of streams. And I think that anybody who watches this stream probably is in the same boat of me, where I don't think you want those people who are going to watch those streams anywhere near this channel, right? Like, you probably are like me and really would rather those people stay very fucking far away from this stream. You know, like, we're pretty tight. We have a pretty good community, and I don't really want to disrupt that. And, you know, I'm like any other content creator. I want to grow, and I want to make lots of money. But I don't think it's worth that. I don't think it'll ever be worth that. Which is exactly what I literally just finished saying. Aqua. Let me know when... Okay, you're ready for me to scroll. I was about to... I'm like, let me know when you're ready. Oh, you already said it. Okay. I was in the middle of a ramble. I'm sorry. So anyway, this is my request for all of you. Never ask me to do a hot tub stream again. Okay? That's it. Just stop it. I mean, I'm adding it to the banned list of phrases right now. So, they won't be able to. Hot tub and stream are all separate words that should still be able to be typed in separately. Let me ask you this. Don't ever, jokingly or otherwise, ask me to create adult content. It's not funny. It's fucking harassment. And it's literally never going to happen. Joking or otherwise. So if it's a meme, stop. Forever. Did someone put my chat in emote only mode? What's going on? Unless, like, I just missed a memo. You're changing the subject? All right. I hope that I made myself clear with that. Hey, LaFonda. What's up? Purify the chat. I have a feeling if you cast Purify on the chat, there would be no chat left. I was about to say there isn't a snail man, but there is a human. Slowly making progress. Hell yeah, LaFonda. I mean, it sucks that you're sick, but hell yeah. Like, see, here's the thing, right? We can talk about subjects like that. Just, if it's regarding asking me to do that shit, absolutely not. I mean, this is definitely just a human. I don't know if it's necessarily a snail. That would look like an S. I do indeed see cage. I wonder if there's something in the cage. You better be carrying a moose or something at the speed that you're not going. Nope. It's a tin cage. A tin cage. You'd think a tin cage would be pretty light. That human must be incredibly weak. And the dwarves have arrived to trade. Look at that. Well, the outpost liaison is here. Oh, also the caravan arrived, and I think immediately left. Oh, nope, never mind. They just came from down here. I thought they came from up top. A glorified snail man. Maybe not a maybe a symbolic snail man. A snailish man. A man that moves at the speed of a snail. It's pretty symbolic. It's as is tradition. Kavish says, I'm your outpost I'm your liaison from the mountain homes. Let's discuss your situation. The world is the same as ever. What requests do you have of our merchants? If they got to the level of Skate 3 memes, maybe. But why would you want a sequel to B-Movie? I look forward to our meeting next year. Our fortunes rise and fall together. I mean, you can't make B-Movie better. B-Movie is already a perfect film. So if you were to make a sequel to that, wouldn't that just sully the good name of B-Movie? Like Shrek? Shrek 1 is still a good movie. Like, I mean, I'm not a big Shrek fan or anything, but Shrek is a fine movie. It's fine. It's fine. Whoops, that is not what I wanted to do. It's a shame they didn't make any more. Yeah, they certainly did. Anybody play, and did anybody here ever play the Shrek fighting game? Because I did. I'm still working on the green glass tower. I'm just making some of the layers are going to have patterns instead of just being circles, just to make it more interesting. I am so sorry, Silver She. Why is that an awe? I mean, I need some layers that I can use as a metalsmith's forge, you know? Oh, because there's a very big difference between aw and ah. But yeah, no, I'm kind of thinking about like making this layer here into like a giant forge, you know? I'm kind of thinking about that. Or rather, the layer above this. There you go. You're no longer depressed because you've been making crafts for a while. Uh-oh, there's another depressed dwarf down there. Bastet's depressed again. Well... But yeah, no, I need some layer to make into a magma forge. I mean, I'll probably do something on maybe this layer, but I don't know. I think like kind of down a little ways would be a little nicer, like a little further down here, you know? Then I could do a big cool magma forge. Like I could go actually use it as glass storage right now, which would be very helpful. So you know what? We're going to do that. We're going to dig this out. You wondered about the shape too? Well, I mean, we're going to have to do more than just make it, what's the word? A big plain building, right? We got to do more than just that. So if all we're doing is making big plain buildings, what's the point, right? We got to have a little bit of fun with this. We can do more than just make this into a giant lava lamp. We make it into a giant lava lamp with a forge in the middle. And a tavern. Why not? Like, we got to do more than just the giant lava lamp. The giant lava lamp is a bonus, frankly, but I think we can do more than just the giant lava lamp. Make it useful too. Yeah, absolutely. Twill indeed make it useful. Dwarves are very, 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 very busy right now. Just sell all of these cages because I got a ton of cages just lying around doing nothing. I'm going to need to make some more cages, but that's totally fine. Let's just get rid of a bunch of them. Because, well, I also need to get all those dead animals out of them that I totally forget that I have every time. Cyrolac got depressed again. Now you're constructing green glass blocks, which is, you know, step in the right direction. It's like, what's the point in me, you know, making this massive pump stack if I don't, at the very least, get like a magma forge out of it, you know? I have to do something to get a lava forge out of it. Which means I'll also have to build a nicer big old stairway down to this thing. This definitely needs to happen, which is probably the next thing I'm going to do. Also, I need to remove that and remove that just so they can still get up and down. Have to keep the doors busy? Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's why every single one of my projects needs to be expanded dramatically from the original idea. So that we have stuff to do for the next, well, rest of our lives. Was there too little grass in the pasture, or was it stuck in a cage? The humans often bring me gifts with live animals in cages, and I always forget that they're in there. Always. Always, without fail. Or intentionally ignore that they're in there, so. You know, these were all stuck in cages. Or I don't care that they're in there and I just let them die. There's Axon. Trade. Dwarves still have tons of other things to bring. But yeah, this is going to take a minute, and then dwarves will start working on it, and it'll be cool. And I think we'll need to do more with this area. Like, we'll need to put a tavern down here. Like, maybe I could put a tavern over here. It's not actually going to be labeled as a tavern. It's just going to be a dining room, and it's going to be stocked with food. Just more as a place for the dwarves to go and eat and drink while they're working on this project, and also whenever they're working down here. Issue is it'll separate the dwarves up and they won't see their friends as much, but we'll have to work with that. That and the humans like to give me cages made out of very heavy materials, and I like to make them out of light materials, so it's kind of frustrating when you get cages and it's like, well, you gotta make this cage out of very, very, very heavy material. Come on, Sirelac, go train. The skills that you would like to train to make yourself happy. They don't get moved so much. I hate making anything out of lead. I really, 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 really hate the material just in general. It's a really shitty material. Stuff should, yeah, I'm kind of there. Like, stuff should be made out of whatever the toughest possible material is. whatever the toughest possible material is. It's like when someone tries to give you a gift involving something you know a lot about without them knowing much themselves. Oh, and they give you something crappy, and then they always give you the same thing every year. Have you ever gotten the same thing from the same person multiple years in a row? For a birthday or Christmas or something? Because I have. I've gotten the same model kit 2 years in a row from the same person. I'm just going to post this in chat with no context and just say that's a very brave chicken. That is an extremely brave chicken. You always get deodorant from everyone. Are they trying to tell you something? 'Cause I would almost take that as an insult. I don't think I've ever gotten deodorant from someone, fortunately. That's the last one. All right. Oh, it's too heavy. The cages are too heavy. I actually sold them enough stuff that it's too heavy. Because you ran out of deodorant? My mom bought a shit ton of deodorant years ago. Very, very, very long time ago. And just gave it all to me because it was all on sale. It was like this fucking Old Spice deodorant. I don't particularly like Old Spice, but I also don't hate it. And she just bought a shit ton of it. And I'm still working my way through that supply. And it's been like at least 10 years. Probably longer. Yeah, right? Friskins? Like I said, that is a brave fucking... That's a brave fucking chicken. For reference, it's there's an anaconda. And this chicken is just like pecking it to death. With Axe deodorant, I'm so sorry. At least Old Spice just kind of smells like soap. Axe just smells like awful. I hate Axe so much. Like, that shit should be illegal. Someone in here is going to be like, I like the smell of Axe. Calling it right now. No, Axe is the worst. Doesn't depend. There is no depends. I liked the taste of Monster Energy drinks when I was 15. We all make bad decisions and wrong choices. While working because you smell like shit while working anyway. Touche. Yeah, that's fair. Although the worst combination of smells ever, and sorry if I'm describing you. Actually not, sorry you stink and you should wear better clothing. But the worst possible combination of smells is when somebody is smoking cigarettes and wearing Axe deodorant. And even worse if you also have shitty aftershave on. Or smelly hair gel. It is the absolute worst combination of scents you could do to a person. When me and my dad went out on our hike, we walked past somebody who literally had that combination of shit. And I was just like, it was like spontaneous headache walking past this person. So I'm going to smooth the floor down here, even though it's going to be filled up with lava. The reason I'm going to do that is so that I know where to build my walls. I can smell that much from a distance. So your brain does this funny thing, Klender, when one of your senses doesn't work. It compensates with your other senses. So my eyesight is real shit. I have an incredibly particular sense of smell and incredibly good hearing. Like, I can pick up on very, very, very specific scents from a very far distance away. Which was kind of funny because, like, once I was speaking with a friend of mine and they were like, so what you're saying is if I fart, I should just admit it. I'm like, yeah, basically. Because it's not too far off. My brain needs something to do. Yeah, no, my brain's just bored shitless. It's like, well, nothing else works, so gotta do something with all this thought processing we got. Spitalier has been possessed. Also, Spitalier grew up and probably needs jobs. Well, possession first. I wonder what Spitalier is gonna make. Aside from the vomit he just put on the floor. We need another round of kids. Craft store shop. Hopefully a decent mug. Yeah, that I agree with. Hopefully a decent mug. It wouldn't be the first artifact mug in the fort, though. Wouldn't be the first. Grabbing bones? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes they just gotta get it out, you know what I'm saying? It's just like sometimes you just gotta speak your mind, LaFonda, except with dwarves, sometimes they just gotta puke. Perfectly understandable, I say. Like, humans are 70% water, dwarves are 70% vomit. That's distressing, but it's almost accurate. Paperwork is done. Hallelujah. Made it into late autumn. Takes you almost all of the season to get the paperwork done. I think the Electrum Crown was new. Cyrillax mood's getting better, but still not great. Dwarves are too busy. I've kind of made this mistake of getting my dwarves very, 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 very busy. I wonder how complete the list of items from the game that list will be by the time it's done. All right, there you go. It's beginning a mysterious construction. I'm gonna take a leak real quick. I will be right back. Huh. Well then. Spitalier, the peasant, has created Thetfil Imak, a cow bone warhammer, and claims it as an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor, Cooler the Second. Courage hatchets. Cowhammer. We shall call it Crammer. It's worth 71,880 Zatal. Autumn of Chucking. It is indeed. It's a ceremonial artistic piece, not a weapon, of course, Spitalier, but definitely I mean, of all the things you could have made at a craft store shop, this is one of the cooler ones. This is a cowbone warhammer. All craft store ship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with diorite cabochons and encircled and cushion cut pink tourmalines. This object is adorned with hanging rings of cowbone and pink tourmaline, and menaces with spikes of giant cave spider silk. On the item is an image of dwarves in Rubicel. On the dwarves are laboring. The artwork relates to the foundation of Longdeath by the eternal adventure of time by the ignited creation in the early spring of year 5. Moomer? I think Moomer might be it. Yeah. Maybe a Muammer? I don't even. I give up. I was trying to like sound out moo and hammer together. It's just not working. He only knows about the event from bedtime stories? Probably. Yeah. Very well studied in history. Things are slowly starting to move into really long ago, really long ago, especially for some of these dwarves. Giant X things also tend to exist because humans don't live in savage lands very much. Oh, because they haven't brought us any jaguars? Is that what you're saying? Jaguars is like one of the few materials that they haven't brought us? Yeah, and the elves don't bring us any giant animals either, which is a little bit disappointing. I was like, you know, if they brought us elephants or giant elephants, you bet I would have bought one of those by now. There we go. And I will give you stone detailing. That's a good craft for you to have as well. Cyrilax, no longer depressed. We fixed you, which is good. The only giants thing they bring us are giant axe blades. Lots of those axe blades. Yeah, most of them I sell back to them. At a profit, frankly. I mean, who doesn't like giant axes or giant serrated glass discs? Or spinning blades of the giant variety? Who doesn't like those? Everybody should like those. You always get a profit selling free stuff. I mean, extra profit. Extra profit. But yeah, no, we're smoothing all of these floors so that I can chop down the walls in the middle and then circle it all with glass in the future. True, yes. And unless we start talking about taxes, but I don't think dwarves understand the concept of taxes. So, I mean, maybe they do, but it's not a huge concern for them, that's for sure. We know that much. It's definitely not a huge concern. Nothing wrong with a big axe. Unless you're the one on the receiving end of it. Then there's plenty wrong with a big axe. Big axes are great until it chops your head off. Just don't violate the law or a mandate, and we don't bash your head in. Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's basically it. Don't kill anybody, and we won't kill you. It's less of a tax and more of like just understanding, you know? It's less of attacks and more of a mutual understanding. Speaking of mutual understandings. Oh boy, you guys went a little bonkers. We need a bicycle now. Dictionaries define words because rules tell people to read correctly-ish, languishing irreverently concerning mundanity, whilst geese profusely grease pans with butter. Different rackets are used profitably for extorting sports. Badminton is played with a lightweight boulder weighing heavily upon the ogre's face. Did someone destroy my sentence? I'm not reading that, sorry. Ignoring that nonsense. Dude, science is discovering fantastic ways we fail everything. Yes. Updated the demo for what? Saying, so they updated the demo is a very, what's the word? General statement that could be talking about a lot of things. You say the demo as if I should know what demo you're talking about. Mm-hmm. I mean, I might just stop reading most of what Socks has to say. One day we'll figure out what demo Freskins is talking about. One day, maybe. Early winter, 260. I really hope, chat, that at some point those interviews that I do become one of the more profitable things I do. I'd really like that to... I'd really like that to just be one of the things that I become known for instead of just, you know, the guy that used to play Roller Coaster Tycoon or the guy that makes videos about Dwarf Fortress. Be kind of cool. It's got a nice ring to it. Stone. Also, it's something I could do with no vision, potentially. So, Freskins, what demo are you talking about? Because none of us know what you're referencing. That's the last time I'm going to bring that up. I think it might be lunchtime for me. I think it might be almost lunchtime. How's Spitalier child doing? I need to give you some tasks. So we're going to give you stone detailing because it's something I can give you right away. We're also going to give you mining because we need that. That and that. Glass making, weaving, and clothes making. And mechanics. Oh, well, I mean, that's a terrible video game, so. You think you left that hanging? You literally gave us absolutely no context. You might be able to reawaken your old spy sense. Spy sense, not to be confused with Spidey sense. Belag, how old is Belag the Second? 107. God damn. Yeah, dwarves are old. And Spitalier gets to go to work. And born in the fort, yeah. I mean, I've had people die of old age that were born in the fort. Like Sparkly 4K, my old mayor, was born in the fort. Died of old age at like 160 something. Yeah. The one that we dropped an entire inner roof on was born in the fort too. Yeah. Also, the dwarf that was thrown off the wall as a baby and went splat very early on was born in the fort as well. So not all of them live a long time, but we just remember the ones that do, and forget the ones that don't, of course. Right? That's how this works. Accidents, yeah. Whoopsie daisies. Oopsies, as we call them. When the big oopsies happen, we just smile and nod. Can I ask you an honest question, Fraskins? What in the world do you see in Luck Be a Landlord? This is literally like one of the worst visual designs for a video game I've ever seen. Like, everything about this is awful. I've played the demo, too. Literally everything about this is awful. I don't understand the appeal in that thing at all. Not even remotely close. Everything about it is just like... I just don't understand. Okay, so you're kind of like me then. Gotcha. I don't know. I've had some people just like ask me if I've played it and then evangelize for it. And I'm like, what do you see in this? Because I don't understand what people see in that game at all. So you shouldn't feel group pressure from me because I hate it. I think it's terrible. There you go. Spitalier likes her new job. Excellent. All right. Well, I'm going to let you guys watch them smooth this floor. I'm going to go get some food real quick. If I could get a round of beers, that'd be awesome. I think I probably need to lower the sub goal. Maybe drop it down to... Actually, no, I'm going to do that first. Drop the sub goal down to 400 because in just a few days, we're going to lose a shit ton of subs. So, there you go. That should update in a minute. But I'm going to go grab myself some lunch. I will be back in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere too quickly unless you really want to. Enjoy the ambient noises. If you happen to have sound commands, now's a good time to use them. Someone needs to gift a sub to Diamond Destruct, and I will be back... And as well as Beer Meneer. And I will be back in a couple of minutes. Beerby.
for everyone!
I mean, snowstorm above means it's perfect time to hang out in the basement, right? That's truly what that means. It just means that it's a good time to be working far underground smoothing stuff because, well, it's cold outside. That's all that means. It just means it's cold outside. Oh, Lottie. I'm back. Hope you didn't miss me too much. We'll dig all that out. And dig all that out. And then this can all just be filled in with glass. Apparently I have hiccups now. Because I don't really want the brown stone down here. I want the nice green glass down here. Tomorrow is DF News Day, I think. And there goes half of it. And the rest of it. And then I can fill this in. The main reason I'm smoothing all of the floors is so that it's easier for me to, you know, mirror the other side with this. Running kind of low on the green glass blocks. I need to make more to actually fill this whole thing up. Need to make more. This whole project is going to very much slow down the progression of the, you know, the lava tube. But honestly, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I've been trying to find more reasons to be looking forward to summer because I think it's kind of unhealthy to just like completely dread one whole season of the year. Which is basically what I've been doing for the past few years. And the more I try, just the more I realize that I don't know if that's possible for me. I really wish that I liked summer. Like, the only thing I like about summer is my garden grows stuff. It's literally the only thing I like about summer. Everything else about summer is just, like, kind of a non-stop bummer until it's over. Eh. Also, I'm just assuming everybody's like still got me muted or something, or if I'm still muted because we quiet. Chat, if you're watching the stream, could I get a round of beers? Let's see how many people are listening to me right now. You really like summer evenings? Is it worth the rest of the day though? In the kitchen making bread. Gotcha. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being entitled, but it's very rare that I come back from lunch and I don't even get a welcome back, you know? Assuming you get cool air and it's not more just like awful hotness, you know? Oh, to swim comfortably in the Pacific Northwest? It's either like way too fucking cold or it's way too fucking crowded. Yeah, you do, Demonoid. You just have to type in the word beer. Also in the kitchen, welcome. Organizing storage containers. Roger. That's a good pastime. I need to do that. I need to reorganize one of my container cupboards. It's just filled with like a pot. Like I just kind of throw stuff into that. Like I don't even place stuff in that cupboard. I throw stuff into that cupboard. I technically have 2 beers in my fridge right now, which is actually like rare for me. It's been a long time since I've actually had beer on hand, but I do. All ambient temperature is temperature that your forge doesn't have to produce. And you've literally just worded out in one sentence why I'm not a blacksmith and why I will never be a blacksmith. So I hate ambient heat. Can't fucking stand it. It's the worst. Blacksmithing is really cool. I never want to be within like spitting distance of one of those forges. An ice... Okay, so I read that as ice pick novice. I literally read that as like yesterday an ice pick hit me in the head. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? That's like saying I was in the kitchen and a knife landed on my face. It's like, what? But an ice pack hit you. Okay. I mean, touche. I feel like depending on how full my freezer is, that's a very real possibility that could happen. There was one time I opened my freezer and then just like a whole bunch of frozen onions fell out of my freezer and I was like, I think I should reorganize my freezer. So I reorganized my freezer. That hasn't happened since. Yeah, just an ice pick. Yeah. I mean, Canada? Why not? I mean, keeping an ice pick is weirder than, or is maybe less weird than some things people keep in their houses. Sometimes you just gotta pick the ice off the side of your freezer. Figure out who stole all the storage containers. I know exactly what happened to all my storage containers. I very slowly break them. I either put something that's too hot in them and I melt the bottoms of them, or like I just drop them one too many times and then they crack. And then I slowly go down to having no organization anymore because none of my containers fit together anymore. Because they're all like from different sets. And then eventually I snap and recycle all of them and then go buy new containers. Rinse and repeat every 4 or 5 years. It's kind of how things just go around here anyway. See, like, I don't have siblings to blame because living alone, the only person I have to blame for shit going missing is me, which is why it's very frustrating when I can't find my hat for 3 days. It's like, I live in a 424 square foot apartment. You'd think I'd be able to find my fucking hat. Turns out, no, actually. Like, like, there's part of the reason I own 2 hats is so that, like, when I lose one of them, the other one's probably not lost. I'm not even, like, particularly forgetful or anything. Green glass blocks. Well, I only have 2. They're making more. Good stuff. You know, these dwarves are really slow at detailing floors. I think I could use some more stone detailers in the crew. There we go. Who loses one of them now and again? I mean, maybe. I feel like that's kind of unlikely if you only own 3 articles of clothing. Although I feel like doing laundry would be a very particular challenge if you only owned 3 pieces of clothing. Wait, are you saying like 3 shirts, 3 pairs of pants, 3 pairs of socks, 3 pairs of underwear kind of shit? Or are you talking like they own a shirt, a pair of socks, and a pair of pants? Like, are we talking like 3 full outfits? Because then, yeah, no, absolutely. They probably lose something sometimes. But, like, I don't know. It's just kind of incredible how easy it is to lose something that you'd think would be kind of difficult to lose. 1 sock and 2 hoodies. Yeah, there you go. 1 single sock, 2 hoodies. I have too many t-shirts, but that's because a lot of them are band shirts. Like, I own a lot of t-shirts. I have 10 pairs of socks, 4 pairs of outdoor socks. So 10 pairs of normal socks, 4 pairs of super warm outdoor socks because I need like wool socks because I live in Canada. Like 10 pairs of underwear, 4 pairs of jeans, 2 pairs of shorts, and maybe 2 dozen t-shirts, I would say probably. Just because I've slowly amassed a collection of band shirts. Oh, hi, Jess. How's things? What's up? Welcome, Raiders. How's everybody doing? I didn't even know you were streaming. What's up, Reza? How's things? Hey, hi. What were you playing? Go stock your stuff. Oh, Foundation. How's that new UI for that? Also, I feel like it's a little early. I hope your internet didn't give out again. What's up, Alistair? How's things? If you guys don't know Jess, Jess streams before I do, so we're around the same time I do, but ends before I do. Jess is one of my stream team members. She's fantastic and entertaining. Why does Twitch want to autocorrect complete this to Wowee instead of what, Jess? You're making my life so much harder, Twitch autocorrect. There we go. Also, hi, Clino. If you're typing in stuff, I see them now, Clino. I feel like some messages have just like vanished from the chat today for some reason. Like this has happened a couple of times today. I've seen messages pop up in my bots chat, but not in my Twitch chat. I am imagining a raid message here, Curry. I'm also imagining Curry because you have Curry in your name. Hi, Jess. What's up? I hope your internet's been more stable. Technical difficulties suck. I'm just doing things in Dwarfs. So, this is me attempting to keep a fort alive longer than anyone else ever has. So, we're completely doing more than anyone should logically ever do. They're waiting for you to finish up. Well, I mean, if it's what you got to do, at least that they understand now why you're demanding fixes. Got super flustered. Touche. I could see why. I mean, like, I feel like if I was streaming and then like someone who was supposed to fix my internet showed up and was just like standing outside my house, I would kind of freak out a little bit. Like, I think I would just lose my mind a tiny bit. I'm working right now. Yeah, please, like it's always fun when I explain to people. It's just like, yeah, I work from home. Okay, well then, can we set up an appointment for me to come by and do the thing at this time? And I'm like, well, I'm working, so, but you work from home. Well, how do I explain that? Yes, I work from home, but also I can't just like pause it. You know, it's like playing an MMO, but your job. No, Mom, I can't pause this video game. Is standing in your stream space bubble? Yeah, that's, yep. In a meeting? Shh, long meetings that never end with text chat. I try so hard to not tell people what I do for a living. Like, genuinely. I try so hard. Beer Minear has been taken by a Fey mood. Look at that. A Fey mood. They hear from here, but ignore work. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I think that the thing that people don't realize is, like, yes, working from home is the in-fashion thing to do right now. This was a rushed XLE plus Jess combined raid. Oh, was it? Okay, that's why I'm seeing XLE emotes. Makes sense. Well, I hope you had a good stream regardless, and I hope that this fixes your internet. It's also springtime. I've always wanted to see an old dwarf do a... Get, like, start making an artifact and then die halfway through. I've always wanted to see that happen. Just like die of old age, just like keels over. But thank you very much for the raid, regardless. Oh, well, cheers.
Also, there's this.
Tiny toy windmill. Hopefully. Chat, can I get a big round of beers for Jess keeping that sub alive for 14 months? Welcome back. Cheers. Axon the Second has died. Well, shit. While working. I don't even know if Axon's here. He's a good dwarf. He had 2 plump helmets in his pockets. Sad days. The artifact would be lost. It wouldn't block the workshop forever and the artifact would be lost, is what would happen. I mean, I've had dwarves die mid-artifact, but not of natural causes. I want one to die of natural causes. Rest in peace, Axon. You were a good dwarf. You were a goddamn good dwarf. Both Axons were good dwarves. Both of them stuck around for a while. It's going to take us a while to clean up all of this dwarf's crap, too. It's a well-crafted steel shield. No, that's not a natural cause because it's player cause. Natural cause is them dying of old age peacefully. So, vehemently disagree. Also, we have a very, very, very small tribute from the group of alchemy. Well, I mean, I'm just telling you that I don't consider that natural causes. I mean, have you ever been hit with a shield? Fucking hurts. I can tell you right now. You don't ever want to get hit by a shield. Thrown or otherwise. Getting hit by a shield is very suboptimal for your forehead. I've seen plenty of dwarves kill things with shields. I mean, sword just cuts thing off and then thing gone. And then you're like, well, I don't have my arm anymore. Shield is bludgeoning to death. I feel like that would be less pleasant in a lot of ways. I mean, some of the most effective comedy dwarves, if you really want a funny, like, funny dwarves to, or funny dwarf weapons. One of the best ones that you can have is like a dwarf with 2 shields. Just having a dwarf with 2 shields equipped is better than having a dwarf with a weapon and a shield equipped in some cases. Alrighty, Beermanier, what do you want? Bones, rough gems, silk cloth, logs, rough gems. Okay, it's logs that you need. And probably bones as well. Funniest dwarven weapon is a baby. It's not the best, though. It's the best dwarven weapon is obviously whips. I could see the argument to be made for the best comic relief weapon is a baby. So Lafon does the one who gets the honors of disposing of poor Axon. I know you're memeing, but it's taking all of my mental fortitude to not just be like, but that's not how the game works. I think you're confusing baby dwarves and baby humans. Diamond. That's my assumption, is you're confusing the two. They're quite different. So far that you need to go. Yes, but Dwarf Fortress doesn't have any sense. But anyway. I am not capable of seeing the humor in this conversation because my brain keeps telling me that's not how the game works, so. Also, apparently my brain is deciding to rebel. Elves have arrived? What do you still need? What do you actually have? Granite, cowbone, spider silk cloth. Yeah, I think we just need more bones. I need to stop queuing up jobs for a bit and give these dwarves a break. It definitely didn't pop up in my chat. But no, that dwarf is definitely dead. Oh, if their dwarf was still alive? Their dwarf is definitely dead. Demonoid died a while back. Sure, but stating that a baby dwarf is the best weapon is factually incorrect, because it's not the best weapon. There are some stories in the past of weapons in Dwarf Fortress being super successful that are very silly. But it's not correct that they are the best weapon. Yeah, Demonoid wasn't a very long-lived dwarf, because Demonoid was a merchant, if I remember correctly. Passed away peacefully a while ago. God. Now you gotta weaponize the pudge from inside of the fluffy wamblers. We gotta figure out how to extract the pudge from the inside of the fluffy wamblers and then pressurize the pudge and then kill them with pudge cannons. You mean get stabbed in the head, Vincent? You know, I have absolutely no energy. I think I should call it. I know that I just got a raid, and I know I haven't been on that long, but my body's not letting me do my job today. It's not even that hot today. I have no energy. I don't know how else to describe it. I just have no energy. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to call it soon, or call it quits early today. Otherwise, I'm going to snap at somebody or be unpleasant, so best call it. Yeah, best call it. I'm sending you guys over to Bellinair. Give him the raid. He needs to pick me up anyway. Sorry. I don't know what else to say. But I do not have the energy to do this right now, unfortunately. You guys take care of yourselves. Go say something nice to somebody. Cheers, guys.